It's time for grassroots racers and fans to gather around. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show, your destination for news and interviews within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and from the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for our 38th season, America's longest running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. Tell your friends they still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how are you? Welcome to a Tuesday show. It's June 14th already, Flag Day, and we are flying it big and strong because we got a great show again tonight for you. I want to thank our friends at the Cellar last week. We had an awesome turnout on Oak Creek Automotive Night. It was Bobby's birthday, Sandy's birthday. We had a great turnout. Thanks to everybody who came out to the Cellar last week. We hope to be back there sometime soon. Tonight, we're talking about the Milwaukee Mile, right across the street from Polly's Pub and Eatery, where we're hanging out tonight. We got a big race program on Sunday. It's the Father's Day 100. There's 4 divisions of racing. We'll tell you more about it here on this program. And tonight we'll preview the Father's Day 100 presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza with the ARCA Midwest Tour, Midwest Truck Series, Mid-Am Stock Car Series, and Upper Midwest Vintage are all taking laps on Sunday. They get some practice time on Saturday at the noon hour. Tonight on the show, to talk more about that, we have ARCA Midwest Tour Racers, sponsored by Oak Creek Automotive. Ryan Farrell, he's in the house tonight. His car's on display. I want to thank John Wood for making the trip down with his brother Jerry. The Midwest Truck Series owner is here, as well as James Lynch. He got a brand new nose on his Chevrolet for this weekend's Midwest Truck Series race. The Bellegarde paves the way 20 at the Milwaukee Mile. We'll talk to James about that. That teenager had a great seat to the photo finish. He finished third behind James Swan and Chester Ace's race to the finish line. It was a dead heat 1 year ago at the mile. Todd Cleaver's here tonight. Todd is in the house. He brought his midget with him. He brought us some swag. Look at this. I get to give away one of the very few shirts that Todd has in stock yet. It's got Bella, his dog, on the top. Yep, we got a couple of these to give away tonight. We're giving away passes to the Milwaukee Mile Father's Day 100 as well. You must be here to win those tonight. We'll do the drawing after our show as well. And Dean Straub's lined up to deliver the latest in short track racing in Wisconsin and the upper Midwest. That's all on this show. And I want to remind you, we could not do this show without our sponsors and our great crew. Please pay attention to their commercial messages and support fellow racers and their businesses. Special thanks to Allied Resource Recovery and shout out to Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage for their support of our show this season. Click on our sponsor logos on our website, racingroundupshow.com, to find out more about these great companies and businesses and racing series supporting our program. 38 seasons in, we're having some fun. Come on down and join the racing crowd. We're live at Polly's Pub and Eatery. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club Points Racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dowsman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
And we're back on the Racing Roundup Show. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday night. We're having a ball. A lot of fun things going on in the parking lot. I want to thank Lance Allen from today's TMJ4 in Milwaukee. He actually popped over to interview Ryan and James Lynch tonight, talking about the big race this Sunday at the Milwaukee Mile. His footage will air tomorrow night in Milwaukee on the NBC affiliate, Channel 4. Thanks, Lance Allen, for making the time. We also are expecting a few more media folks to come out. And it's nothing new for our next guest to do some media stuff here in the area. We do want to thank, first off, another great sponsor of our show as we begin this segment, a segment brought to you by Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with Matt Rapina. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. Visit mattrapina.com. mattrapina.com. Great giveaways tonight. We got a couple of hats from Ryan Farrell. We got some T-shirts from Todd Cleaver, some gift cards from James Lynch. Thank you guys for that. Other prizes as well, including Anderson's Maple Syrup. So come on down and join the racing crowd. We mentioned two sets of tickets to the Milwaukee Mile Father's Day 100 this Sunday will be given away after the program as well. Now let's welcome in the guy I kept telling you about. He's been outside doing some media stuff. He's been around everywhere. He also is really excited to race across the street this Sunday. Let's give it up for the driver of that number 80 Oak Creek Automotive sponsored machine, Ryan Farrell. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here as always, man.
ARCA Midwest Tour is happening. Last weekend, you got to show your car in the plaza at the Cellar. How cool was that fun last week?
Oh, that was fun. That was a great time. I love bringing the kids there. Anytime you guys do these car shows, anytime you get the show going, it's a great time to come down. But with the car shows and the Oak Creek Auto event going on, they had a ball. My kids sat in Pagan's car, the Bandolero, and now I'm the second best driver in the house, I guess. Or I'm their second favorite driver now, so they're all about that orange car that she's got and all.
Yeah,
But,
Pagan
they had a great time.
Pagan Elson's Bandolero is more their size, but you were pretty much chomping at the bit, aren't you, to get at the Milwaukee Mile across the street this coming weekend?
Yeah, it's chomping at the bit's probably the wrong word for it. It is working every night to find little things that I don't think is quite right with the car, or this body panel might not make it down the straightaway, or it looks like, we spend a lot of time looking at pictures and just trying to. I don't have a wind tunnel. I don't know anybody that has been to a wind tunnel personally, so I'm racing with guys that have. So how can I steal from any info I can get from them and use it on my car?
So you said photos. Are we talking about race cars at speed, what their positioning is, what their body is, what the right rear tire looks like, inside or outside the fender well, sealed off the nose?
I'm probably into hours already of staring at this. I mean, this goes back the last few years, and you can't hang a body mid-season, so you see what these guys do. Then you try to get ahead of it over the off-season. Then as you lead into this week, you really try to up your game a little bit. Brace everything a little stronger, flare everything, see what you can get away with, stuff like that.
So the Midwest Tour races all season long. There's 11 races this year. They started at Slinger Speedway, one of your haunts. That'd be kind of fun to add that to the schedule this year.
Yeah, one of my haunts and currently my worst track I go to.
Come on!
It's almost comical, but I learned to race there, won a bunch of races, and now I can't figure out how to get around the place. So. But that's just how super late racing is. It's not just driving. It's set up, and I think we're a little bit behind at the high bank tracks for whatever reason. So that's what we're working on.
You're an engineer by trade. You're always thinking about stuff. You got Justin Kane as your secret weapon. I keep saying that you guys work great together, but those hours in the shop, putting those little details together, how close are we right now at the race cars sitting here at Polly's?
We are, I'd say 90%. The front springs are in. Basically the entire setup's in. We got a couple of things to do body-wise. I've just finished bracing up. it's already cleaned up. I had a few shows to do this week. We had the car at the mile last Saturday. And,
yeah, so remember we were last week on the show, we had the Bruce City Banger drifting event. It was 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. last Saturday at the mile. You got asked to go out there and hang out and kind of spread the word about this weekend, right?
Yeah. One of the things we didn't do is change the gear because it's awful hard to drive it around with the Milwaukee gear. So we left the Slinger gear in it. And, other than that, I mean, most of it's ready to go. So you do one last safety check. There's a place you can get in trouble there. Going pretty quick here. Last I calculated, like a little over 150. So if you measure the tires and RPMs and all that, it says we're going about 150 here. So
not only are you going faster than the NASCAR Xfinity Series cars and the NASCAR trucks that raced here, you've got 35 other guys doing the same thing.
And for the most part, 35 other guys that you trust. Everybody, I don't really think I've seen anybody do anything dumb here in the few times I've raced here. There's room to pass. It's probably an underrated track for us. I know some of the NASCAR races here have been kind of follow the leader, but if you go back and watch 2019, I think Ty finished second and restarted like 15th with 19 to go, and that was just actually a heck of a show. And I was in the middle of that, moving forward, and then had a guy like that come around and pass me on his way forward, and it felt like a car chase scene down the backstretch a couple times, 3 wide, diving in and out. It was one of the coolest things I've ever felt in a race car. I felt so. And
the race with the lead last year, if it came down to Dalton Zier and Luke Fenhaus, they got after it. They couldn't figure out who was going to race down the backstretch and keep their line or keep the lead. It got to be really close, and unfortunately, both of those leaders were taken out in the race. So there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah, there was a lot of opinions about that.
100
I don't
miles.
have one.
And I don't have one because I was sitting up on the spotters are right above where I was sitting calling the race. And I couldn't tell who was in what fault. I couldn't tell what car moved over. I couldn't tell what happened if he got loose or
there is a draft here too, to an extent, especially when they're side by side in front of you. You can feel that pulling your car along. And I'm not going to lie, if you're trying to pass somebody, you're not going to move away from them if you're a little bit behind. It's just like you see with the Cup cars where you just try to get any little bit you can. And it does seem to be, it's not as drastic as like the next gen car would be, but there is a little bit there, and I'm sure they're just trying to take advantage every little bit. And race driver
Ryan Farrell hanging out with us here at the Racing Roundup headquarters tonight, Polly's Pub and Eatery. Looking at this schedule this weekend, again, tickets are still available. TrackEnterprises.com. Save $5, get them in advance. TrackEnterprises.com. The schedule's there as well. If you're on Facebook, there's a couple of pages. Look for Track Enterprises Milwaukee Mile. Search that. They've got a couple of dedicated pages just for this weekend event. Saturday's an optional practice day. You going to take the option?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's honestly one you have to do. There's tracks we're good at. You go to the Dells and show up on the day of the race and be all right, and places you race a lot. But here, you don't know what you're going to have for the tires. You don't know what you're going to have with weather. Everybody's got some notes now from the last few years, but it's probably not enough that anybody feels comfortable about it. I think Dan Fredrickson did it a few years ago and almost won, but I'm not him, so I'm going to be here.
Right, so. and Dan probably had like 19 races at the mile to go back on. Let's see, when I ran the Martin Series in 05,
I'll spot him with you,
Yeah. So. Speaking of time, there's not a lot of time on the track because there's 4 different divisions. We get on the track at 9:30, qualifying at 11 already. We're going racing at 1.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You're talking on race day there. On Saturday, we get 1 session per hour for about 25 minutes, cycling with the Vintage and the Midwest trucks, and I believe is it Mid-Am cars too?
Yep.
So the thing is, somebody said, well, that's actually not that much time. And I'm like, well, you can only do so much in a session. You get your 10 laps in, you get your run in, maybe a second run, and then you need 20 minutes to kind of just diagnose everything, make a couple changes, and go back at it anyway. So you really couldn't do much more with that 4 hours than what we got. And it's kind of the same thing Sunday. And by the time you're mid-morning Sunday, it's you're running out of options. You probably, hopefully, exhausted all your tools. And if you're not in the ballpark by then, it's probably just going to be a hold on and get through the race weekend. So
qualifying begins at 11 a.m. on Sunday. Again, gates open at 9. On-track activity starts at practice for all divisions at 9:30. Qualifying at 11. You have an autograph session if you want to meet Ryan Farrell. If you haven't met Ryan already, he's got an autograph session behind the grandstands at 12:15. And then we pretty much line them up. ARCA Midwest Tour Last Chance race starts at 1. So there's a lot going on in a little bit of time with this big racetrack.
Well, and it's a lot for us to handle, too. We don't do this all the time. It's once a year. So you've got, well, how did I look over in turn 3? Well, nobody was down there. Oh, yeah, never mind. Okay, am I lifting in the right spot? Well, we weren't there. I don't know. How did it look coming out of the corner? And then you might have somebody down there. But so we'll spread out. We'll have guys all over the track trying to watch and a couple people taking pictures. And like I said before, it's a lot of monkey see, monkey do. If your car's not doing what you see other cars doing that are fast, you'll try to figure out why and go from there. So,
with your experience here, how different does the super late model drive versus other cars you've driven here at the mile?
The only other car I ever drove here was a Big 8 car. Funny enough, though, I probably got the most laps in iRacing. I'm in my 30s now. I got some kids, so I don't get to do it like I used to. But I probably run 10,000 laps around a mile.
Whoa.
If you include video games and all that. And to be honest with you, the iRacing super late model around here, you get into a rhythm with it, and you actually kind of forget it. It feels just like it. You don't have the sensation of speed in the car, but the way it drives, it's actually pretty accurate. The line you take, the bumps you see, it's right there. So.
Ryan Farrell's racing this Sunday, the ARCA Midwest Tour, 4th race of the season. Last time they raced was May 29th at Jefferson Speedway. What'd you do between then and now? Have you been racing elsewhere?
We went to Slinger, did kind of a test race, tried some stuff, didn't like it, going to undo that. So if we go back there here before Nationals, we will not have that set up in it. It doesn't help your race car if you're touching the racetrack in the corner. It doesn't make it turn better. So we'll change some stuff and try that again. You mentioned Jefferson. That was turned out to be a pretty good day for us.
Just like the mile, but only a third of the size,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, just a third
Same
of
thing.
the size
Yeah.
and half the speed, yeah. Yeah, Jefferson was going really well. We had fallen back to 6th and kind of found our spot, and all of a sudden the car was long run great, and fighting our way back up for 5th with Austin Nason, and then had an oil pump problem under yellow. It just seemed like we couldn't hold oil pressure, and I got nervous and pulled off and ended up finding something that was caught in the lines and blocking it. So it was just a really fluky deal, but you got to be smart with a team like ours. You can't. I had some oil pressure. I did not have what I felt was enough, and it probably would have been fine looking back at it, but you got to choose your battles, and that wasn't the place. So that was kind of a bummer for us. It looked like it was heading towards a solid top 5 that day, but hey, you have that. It's racing, so.
Ryan Farrell joining us here on the Racing Roundup Show. It's a star-studded field this Sunday. The entry list has been published. Have you studied it yet? Eric Jones is driving for Wimmer here on the mile.
Yeah.
He won the race in 2014 here at the mile, the Howie Leto race.
Yeah, we've raced with him before. It's awesome to have him because he kind of seems like one of the real racers in NASCAR. I know he was doing this stuff way before he got there. On the other hand, I'm more worried about guys like Casey Johnson blowing everybody's doors off. I think the local guys are. I can't honestly tell you truthfully that I think that he has a better shot to win than some of the guys I race with every week. Now, not all of them, right? There's a handful of guys. I don't know if Ty is going to make it or not. If he does, obviously him. Luke Fenhouse was incredible last year. I wouldn't put money on anybody showing up and beating some of these guys we race with every week. It would be dumb money.
So Ryan Farrell is being modest here. You have had speed. Every time I see you race, you set fast time at the Dell's Icebreaker 100 where there's a bunch of cars like those guys are itching to go. Everything's brand new. You go down and lay down the lap and set fast time. When it comes to that speed, how much do you have to have speed here, but also have duration at this long of a track, this long of a race?
That's a hard question here. Everybody knows what they want at other tracks. Here, you really aren't going to know what your tire wear is in 10-lap increments. You don't really wear the tires until you get 25 laps in a row, and all of a sudden these things start coming apart. I'm not literally, but they're shaving off rubber every lap. I know in 2019, something everybody reminds me of is Ty was dominating the race. And it was like he hit a wall where he lost. Apparently, word on the street was he lost all the rubber off the tire. And he was hanging on. I think he almost got lapped by the time that run was over and got tires on and came screaming back through. So there's going to be some judgment there. If you can just find a spot to ride, at least play it safe. When you're in that, you got to be in the mix. It's all about that final pit stop. You either are taking your tires early or late. And if you've got a fast car, it opens up the options. If you're mid-pack, you're doing the opposite of what the majority do. So that's pretty much, it's a simple strategy that way, but you got to be in that mix to have a shot at it. And I know most of the guys that won a few years ago, rain last year affected the race a lot. It won't be like that this year. It looks like clean weather. But a couple years ago, it was, I think Fredrickson was third with old tires, and Nason won from like 11th on the restart. And Ty was right there too from further back. So you won't know who's going to be the car to beat until that last pit stop gets a few laps in. It'll be fun to watch, I'm sure.
Ryan, who's riding along with you when it comes to crew support and sponsorship in front of the big hometown crowd or a Big Bend racer getting a race at the mile this Sunday?
Yeah, so everybody's got up north lakes and up north cabins. I always joke I got up north sponsors. I got Adams Towing out of Plover, been a phenomenal sponsor. Met them through Royce Rossier and Rex Rossier, guys I like talking to and hanging out, and really fortunate to know all them guys, the Adams guys and the Rossiers. So I got to thank them. I got Jacoby Waterproofing, Oak Creek Automotive down here. Always want to thank Bobby G. Huge supporter, helps me out a ton, and just a good guy all around, as you know. Holmes Motorsports, Diamond Race Wheels, Messenger Racing, a couple of race fans that came on board, and now they're good friends of mine. And just kind of that dream scenario where they were at a race, had a ball watching us, said you race clean, and now we got a friendship. So they always help us out. Left-hander chassis, Performance Parts Supply, GTM Services, another grandstand sponsor for me, just people you met at the races, and on-demand transportation. And I got to say thanks to Mike Thierry and Thierry's Race Engines as well. I would not be able to do it without him at all. And it's nice to have that kind of power, and it'll pay off here at Milwaukee for sure. So
yeah, it seems like the last quarter of the straightaway, if you are leveled off by then, man, you may not have what you need. Because there could be a guy next to you by that point. It could be a guy where, hey, you know what? I don't think he's got what he needs. Maybe his low end is great, but I can get him there. I mean, these straightaways are long. You got to have that power to go in the straightaways.
Yeah, and if you're a fan in the stands watching qualifying, pay attention to how long guys are on the chip and what actually works. We'll be listening for that all week, or all weekend, I should say, just to see where guys are at. And I might have the engineering degree and all that, but you can't beat experience, and some of these guys just know. And so we'll be watching that. So I should also say Justin Kane, my crew chief, been with me since, 2009 now? Hard to believe. He's getting old. I don't know what his deal is. But Brent Miller, Terry Patnode, you should know him from the racing circles.
Yep.
His daughter Chris and Damien. Jim, Austin, and Brent Runnels. Austin's down serving the country now in the Army, and we're proud of him. And I think he's listening in, so we miss you. We want you back. Get out of there and get back up here, all right? Brian Dolan, another guy that's been along a long time with us, and a good friend of mine, and I've been friends with his family since way before I ever raced, so always want to thank Brian. Darren Travis, everybody knows Darren.
You wouldn't get to the track if it wasn't for Darren. Doesn't he own the
No,
trailer?
that's, people ask, when are you going to get a trailer? I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this one. It says Darren Travis on the side, and you all know who we are. It's an 80 car and a 5 trailer.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Got a new guy, Colt Hall. Colt's been an awesome addition. Just worked really hard, and just really proud to have him with. Got a new guy at work, Mike Lieben. I actually think you know him from way back when.
So Mike Lieben's dad, Earl, is a good buddy of our Dave Schmelzer's. They go way back, and Earl's actually been an engineer helping out here. And I'm at Madison International for the Joe Shear race, and here comes Mike coming out of your trailer. He's like, hi, Jim. I'm like, Mike, what are you doing here? He's like, I work with this guy. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah. We found out we both like racing, apparently, and so we do get some work done at work, though. It does happen, I promise. Just tell Tom Moore that, my boss. So that's Mike. Jeff Sobchak's been around a while now. Got him back from some surgery. Happy to have him. I got to thank my parents, Jim Farrell and Renee Farrell and Jim O'Brien. My sister made this list. My amazing sister, Rihanna.
Wow! Congratulations! You spelled it correctly. You read it right as you wrote it. Amazing, sister.
Yeah. She takes all the notes for us and really helps me out with like all the absent-minded stuff when you're like daydreaming about what you're gonna do with the car, and there's something that needs to be done or a question needs to be answered. She's always there helping with that.
Kind of like Ryan, you're going to be on the track in 5 minutes. Put your fire suit on.
There is that. Yeah, right. and it's an underrated part of this. Like, there's so much going on at the racetrack. I can't answer everything all at once, and sometimes you just need somebody to remind you, hey, this is kind of important to fill this, paperwork out or whatever. So, and then also my wife Ann and my kids Jack and Ingrid, and the mystery one on the way come October. So,
hey, congrats!
Yeah, thank you very much.
We know the racing family would be a fivesome.
Yeah, well, my crew's getting old, right, Justin? So I got to get some fresh blood in there,
Right.
So.
Kind of like what they did back in the day with farming. You have to have enough farm hands.
You got to have enough
kids.
You got
your own kids,
One for every tire, maybe. I don't know. No, I think 3 is probably good. I think we'll stay there.
So practice is Saturday.
Yep.
Sunday morning, probably a light sleep, or you're going to get a good sleep in if you know what you got on Saturday already?
I remember 2 years ago, I did not sleep Saturday night. It was the first time I felt like I was coming here. I'd raced here before, but we just weren't ready as a team. We were just here to say we were here. But 2019, we were really here to try, and we ended up finishing 7th that weekend, so it was all great. But, man, it was stressful Saturday night. And once you got out on the track and you had your breath taken away the first time into turn 3, then it was okay. Then it was down to business, and I slept great Saturday night and the Sunday. But, I'll be a little bit stressed. Probably the most stressful part of the weekend is that first lap at speed. And then, qualifying too. But that first lap, is there a vibration? Is something loose? Is this thing driving right? Is the motor right? Everything up to temp. And, it's a cool track, but it's not to be taken lightly because you're going that quick, and that's not what our cars typically do. So, there's a lot to consider safety-wise that way too, and so that's stressful. And then once you get that first practice in, and all of a sudden it's go time now. So
it's gonna be a lot of fun to see how you guys progress through the weekend. Practice on Saturday starts at noon. Sunday gates open at 9. Practice at 9:30. Qualifying at 11. Autograph session with Ryan at 12:15 under the stands. We go racing at 1 o'clock with the ARCA Midwest Tour Last Chance race. The Midwest Trucks race, their 20-lap Bellegarde paves the way 20-lapper. Upper Midwest Vintage for 20 laps. Then the Mid-Am stock cars get out there for 20 laps. Then the Father's Day 100 presented by Lucas Oil always happens on Sunday, and Ryan's right in the mix of things. How would I say for Ryan Farrell for joining us tonight? Ryan, thanks for all you're doing.
Yeah, hey, thanks a lot. It's awesome to be part of the Midwest Tour and race at Slinger and UMA races and all that. And it's really important to me to support this race because, like I said in the TV deal, I've stared at that grandstand a million times driving around here. I used to do concrete work with my dad, and a lot of it was down in this area. And you see that grandstand, and you're like, man, I'd like to be out there someday. So, yeah, I don't take it for granted. You never know. They've had some troubles in the past. You never know when the last time it'll be. So I encourage everybody to get out there and help support this thing. And I want to be able to come here and see other guys do this when I'm older too. So.
Amen. And you can see what you look like on TV tomorrow night on Channel 4. And Channel 6 is hopefully going to be around here, too.
Hopefully they show the car, I guess. But
we shall see. How about I say it again for Ryan Farrell? What a great job, Ryan. Thanks for being on the show tonight. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Make sure you sign our Bob Treader Sign Rider backdrop as well. It's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR Report. Interstate is a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries are the #1 replacement battery in North America, and Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin has a battery for every need. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Daniel Suarez is a NASCAR Cup Series winner. Pretty big deal. The first Mexican-born racer to win a Cup race, and only the 6th was born outside the U.S. to win a Cup race. The team had a piñata and a flag ready, which said "Win Numero Uno" on it. Chris Buescher just didn't have enough to stay with Suarez at the end. Michael McDowell placed 3rd and Kevin Harvick 4th. Those 3 drivers are looking for their first win on the season. Hendrick Motorsports teammates Chase Elliott and defending Sonoma winner Kyle Larson have been strong on road courses. Kyle, the defending race winner. Chase is really good on road courses. Both of them had pit road issues. Suarez is the season's 12th different Cup winner. Menominee Falls resident Josh Policki finished 29th on the lead lap ahead of Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. When it came to Saturday, the trucks were actually at Sonoma, not Xfinity. Trucks in West Series, ARCA West Series won by Jake Truett. Ty Majeski finished 3rd in Saturday's Truck Series race at Sonoma. Kyle Busch raced in his final truck race. He only gets 5 a year in Xfinity or truck as a full-time Cup guy. It was his 5th race of the season, and wouldn't you know, Kyle went on to win the race, extending his streak to 10 straight years winning a truck race, and now 62 race wins in a total of 17 different seasons. Zane Smith gave Busch all he could handle in the final moments. Stratford, Wisconsin's Derek Kraus finished first truck, 1 lap down in 27th. Josh Policki 30th. In truck qualifying, Carson Hocevar, who actually literally broke his leg on the last lap of the race prior in St. Louis, he set fast time. The timing line was by turn 10. So he goes blown to the line to get the fast time of the day, plies it in the barriers in turn 10, wrecked the truck. They had to start in the back. He goes 10 laps. He jumps out. Relief driver, they lose 2 laps to make the driver change. The relief driver, Daniel Suarez, made up both laps and finished 6th in the race thanks to a lucky dog opportunity. It was great to see. Good to see how that worked, and I'm sure it worked out great for Daniel the next day as he won his first Cup race. In the Milwaukee Company sponsored Calypso Lemonade 150 ARCA Menard Series race at Iowa Speedway, I was there to call it live on MAV TV late Saturday night. Got started late because of rain and close to midnight our time, but we got it in. NASCAR Xfinity Series racer Brandon Jones loves Iowa Speedway for good reason. He picked up his 3rd ARCA Menard Series win there by just pulling it away. Cracked the whip at the right time. He won his 2nd straight ARCA Menard Series race going back to Charlotte the race prior. He won that one at Iowa Speedway. He'll run a few more of those with Menards on the quarter panels. Sammy Smith, who just announced an 8-race Joe Gibbs Racing Xfinity deal now that he's 18. He finished 2nd and led 4 more teenagers across the finish line on Saturday night. I'll be in the booth this Saturday night live on MAV TV at Berlin Raceway in Marne, Michigan. It's the Zinsser SmartCo 200. There's a tie for the point lead after Iowa Speedway's race on Saturday. It's Rev Racing teammates Nick Sanchez and Rajah Caruth both are tied for the point lead with Daniel Dye, the defending race winner, right there in 3rd. Then on Sunday morning, I'll welcome Tim Sauter. I called him up. He said, why not? I'm going to have Tim Sauter with me in the booth for the Midwest Tour.tv booth, Midwest Tour.tv booth for our live call Sunday at the Milwaukee Mile for the Father's Day 100. Tim's done everything but announce a race there, so why not, right? The Cup Series is off this Sunday, so come out to the mile. We got a lot more to talk about on the show, including some great Midwest Truck Series information about this coming Sunday as well, so you need to stay put where you are. I do want to tell you that in this NASCAR report, adding to the excitement of Road America's NASCAR weekend, July 1, 2, 3, Sammy Smith is entered. 5-time Rolex 24 class winner Andy Lally is entered in the Henry 180 Xfinity race, and so is Kyle Larson. That's on Saturday. Sunday's the Cup day. Preceding all that, they have a full on-track day on Friday. We'll be holding a special DeAngelis Construction Road Show in Road America's Victory Lane on Friday, July 1st, right after Xfinity Series done qualifying. That's presented by Brad Dahmer and D&H Sales and Service in Sheboygan, along with Denny Lamers and the Lamers Driving Experience for Charity. That's all coming your way. That's all on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We've got more to come here. We've got a lot more to chat about. We've got more racers to talk about. We've got great race cars in the parking lot. Great racing crowd here tonight at Polly's. Come on back and join the racing crowd. Midwest Truck Series is racing at the mile. We'll talk about that here as well with John Wood and James Lynch on the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack-leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
Milwaukee Mile of Wisconsin State Fair Park roars back to life Father's Day Sunday, June 19, as Track Enterprises presents the ARCA Midwest Tour. See the nation's top drivers with the best super late model stars in the Father's Day 100, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Upper Midwest Vintage Cars, Midwest Trucks, and Mid-Am Stock Cars will also be in action. Tickets available online at TrackEnterprises.com or at the gate on race day. For complete details, go to TrackEnterprises.com. Racing returns to Milwaukee Sunday, June 19th.
Hanging out, watching the Milwaukee Mile ad. It's going to be exciting this weekend. The Milwaukee Mile is back in action. It's the Father's Day 100. Tickets available, as you just heard, TrackEnterprises.com or at the gate. I'd like to pass along some sad news. Mike Lang just popped up. Thanks, Mike, for telling us. Reed Cars and Kevin Lang, two short track racers in the area, both passed away recently. Their funerals were tonight. Mike went to both. So, Mike, thanks for passing along that note. And we are certainly thinking about our racing family here. And thank you, Mike, for popping that in to us to make sure we know. Our thoughts are with Reed Cars and Kevin Lang, and also Jody Deary passed away from Rockford Speedway. She passed away on Monday. We'll talk to Dean Strom about that because Dean got to work a little bit with Rockford Speedway and has known Jody and the Deary family for quite a few years. This portion of the Racing Roundup Show is brought to you by Allied Resource Recovery. Turn your recyclable metals into cash today at one of ARR's 3 locations. ARR West Allis Recycling at 80th and Burnham. ARR Waukesha Recycling at 1001 Tesh Court. And you can cash in at National Salvage on South 44th Street, across from where the Milwaukee Brewers play. Visit AlliedResourceRecovery.com. We've talked about it. We promoted it. We're hanging out with a couple guys that are going to be racing in it. The Midwest Truck Series coming back to the Milwaukee Mile. Let's welcome in driver James Lynch and Midwest Truck Series owner in charge, John Wood. Guys, thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. It's great to be back.
Jim, thanks for having us here, buddy.
Race week, John. I know it's a big deal to race at the mile. You get a chance to do a lot of cool things. You're racing at Slinger during the Nationals, but this big racetrack, it could be unforgiving, and they could also say, yeah, we like what you guys did. But you guys put a lot of work into putting these shows on as good as you can here at the mile.
I tell you what, the mile is something that, I've loved forever, right? But I got to thank, Greg McCarnes and Bob Sargent for having us here. Every year after we're done with the show, Greg comes up to me, day of the show almost,
Like right after you're done with Victor Lane, he's coming over to talk to you.
Yeah, he goes, "Are you in for next year?"
Whoa.
Darn right. So, I mean, and then the fact that Todd Thielen called us up for the Slinger Nationals this winter, I was overwhelmed by that. I mean, I'm very proud. Them are my two biggest races of the year. I mean, they're all big. I appreciate everybody, but them two they're on the top of the list.
And we found out through Chris Blowett at Kaukauna, was it last year, the year before even, his friend Neil Nolan with Bellegarde said, hey, I want to get involved and sponsor the truck race. They did it at Kaukauna. Now they're doing it here at Milwaukee. It's going to be kind of cool to be in their front yard at Bellegarde paves the way to 20-lapper.
Well, actually, they're sponsoring the Slinger races.
Great.
And a bit of the Milwaukee Mile, but we got 2-7 Tools.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep.
Sponsoring the race here this year.
Yep.
Bellegarde sponsored last year, and they did an awesome job.
Oh, that's right. I got it mixed up when I was looking things up. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But they love Slinger also, Bellegarde does, and that's part of their area. And I don't know, I heard that Chris Blowett guy raced at Slinger once or twice.
Chris actually won a Super Late Model Championship at Slinger and said, man, I got kids. I need a different schedule. I love what the Truck Series is doing. I can make those races. It's shorter races. I love traveling around and doing different things. And let's bring in James Lynch to that equation. James, you must love it too. You're doing this again this year, full-time with the Truck Series.
Yeah, I know. It's a great series. I love running it. Last year, we started out pretty not as strong as we did, but coming through the season, I built up a bit more momentum. I got a little bit more confident and used to the truck. And at the end of the year, I think we jumped from halfway through the season, we were 12th, and we finished 5th in the points. So, I mean, it was a pretty good year for us, and we picked up a win as well. So, yeah.
Where'd you win?
Kaukauna.
That's right. And guess what? Brad Miller brought out a truck with brand new tires on that thing, and you had everything for him and then some. You passed him clean late in the going. I was impressed. I knew how big of a win that was the year prior for Bryce Miller, who we've had on the show. It kind of propelled him to saying, I can do this. How much does that propel you now, knowing that you're 4th in points, heading into a race that you did well at 1 year ago at the Milwaukee Mile Track?
Yeah, we're in 3rd, so we're in a good start. We're in 4th, so we're in a good spot right now. We ran 3rd last year. I think that, I have a bit more laps here than, some of the truck guys. There are a lot of new guys here. So, we're going to go on practice and just see how the truck runs. And then, in the race, we'll just, if there's a fast guy in front of me, I'll just, follow him through and let him do all the dirty work past all the guys. And we'll just see how it goes. I mean, it's a big track, and so it's just a blast coming back here.
James Lynch finished 3rd 1 year ago at the Milwaukee Mile. It was a photo finish for the win right ahead of you. James Swan and Chester Ace had it going on. That's not the first and last time they're going to be doing that in the Midwest Truck Series. Saw it this year at Madison with Kevin Canesi as well. When it comes to racing in this series, what'd you learn last year? What'd you learn that made the difference for you saying, okay, this is what we have to do this year for this Sunday at the Milwaukee Mile?
Yeah, definitely just being consistent in how I'm driving, because a lot of times, like when I drove a Legend car, I was just driving in hard. I wasn't running the right lines. I was just really inconsistent, and that's a big thing in the truck, and that's what I'm getting really better at, is just being consistent, hit my marks, and just stay focused, because I have a hard time. When stuff goes wrong, I just get nervous behind the wheel, and I just start messing up. I'm getting better now, staying focused and doing my job. So,
one of the top Legends racers in the area as well, James. I've seen you race both the trucks and Legends the last couple of years. How old are you now?
I just turned 18 in April, and I just graduated high school. So,
congrats, man.
Thank you.
Very cool. So I'm trying to do the math. Who was the youngest guy ever to win a race at the mile? I don't know if 18.
I
could have
think
been
it
18.
was
Levon Vandergeest?
Yeah, he was 15 or 16.
All right, John shaking his head over there. He won the Midwest Truck Series race here a couple years ago.
Yes, a heck of a battle he had with, I apologize, I can't remember who he was racing.
Was it? I think it was Joe Valento.
Yes, yeah, great. Yeah, Joe Valento at him. I mean, one of the better races I've seen. Two good young drivers.
Speaking of the drivers list, John, I know it's going to be a good one. I know there's veterans, there's rookies, there's young drivers like James, hungry to get after it, that have experience here on this big 1 mile. What are you anticipating? What have the phone calls been like this week in the Midwest Truck Series shop?
We're going to have the variety. We're trying to get a truck together for my brother Jerry to run down there. He loves running down there, but I don't think we're going to quite get it done in time. Stan Otis at Club Lamarck, one of our racing sponsors forever, great guy. It's like, I really don't know what establishment to go have supper at, whether I go to Stan's Club Lamarck or I go to Todd Cleaver's Seminary Springs or one of the Cleaver family's other places. But they both know I love them both. But like I said, for Jerry, may not have it ready for him for there. But Austin Litke, who raced Supers a few years ago, he's going to race at both the Slinger races and the Kaukauna race. And we definitely got Jerry slated for the Madison race plus more after that. So looking for a pretty exciting year for the Pathfinder house truck too. So that'll be nice.
And there's a lot of trucks rolling into the Milwaukee Mile. James, I'll ask you the same question I asked the Orca Midwest Tour racer we had on, Ryan Farrell. Are you going to be there Saturday or just Sunday this weekend?
Definitely got to be there Saturday. So, we don't have a whole lot of laps. I don't even think I have 50 laps here, but, we're definitely going to get the practice in. We got to make sure the truck's running right and setup's good and the gear is good. So, yeah, we'll definitely be there Saturday for practice. So.
What else have you done in preparation for what you know about the mile? Ryan talked about buttoning things down and getting things right where they need to be on the body. What have you guys done in your shop, your family shop, James?
Yeah, so we have a new nose on the car. We pulled out a couple dents. We whole new, basically, pretty much different whole setup in the car, different springs, and so a lot of work went into it. So, and we have so a lot of work.
John Wood, principal man in charge of the Midwest Truck Series. You are attracting a lot of folks, some kids out of Legends. James has done both, kind of in a transition. Now James has got an eye on some super late stuff. You told me that at the Dells. I'm just thinking out loud, John, that this is a series that somebody could just stay in, or a series they can really learn a lot in as they make their progression of when they want to go from even a different form of racing into oval racing all over the state.
Well, I mean, it's been the principle of the Truck Series ever since day one, 20-some years ago. We try to keep it low cost. I mean, in racing, if you're racing a street stock, people still get money involved, obviously, which is fine for them. But we base it on a 10-inch tire that they're going to be racing on in a super late coilover suspension, some other super late items, but we program it to keep the cost down. So, but it is, I feel, one of the best stepping stones there is to get up the ladder, and the people that we've had gone through here evidently shows it. Like we were talking today, Ty Majeski raced the truck, Natalie Decker, Luke Fenhouse, Gabe Summers.
Derek Cross was liquid fast when he was 14 driving your series.
He was awesome.
Yep.
Sam Mayer, he drove the truck a few times. And I know I'm missing some people, but
yeah, we got him already.
Yeah, Kraus.
Yep.
I mean, Derek. He was one of the standouts. I mean, all them guys were great. Now we got some kid called James Lynch, and hoping he'll move up the ladder. I mean, a lot of these people, I hate to see them go, but I'm awful proud that they come through our doors also.
And you got to be on your game because we're talking about 4th in points for James, 3rd at the Dells Icebreaker, 15th at Madison and Marshfield, 2nd at Wausau, 4th at Golden Sands. That's a really good number to put together in terms of finishes. And yet you're sitting behind James Swan, Kevin Knese, and Cody Hubrud, who got a bunch of experience in other divisions. How do you attack that on a given day? Is it just all head down, this is what we have to do, or do you pay attention or feed off of some of those guys or knock on their window and say, what'd you guys do?
I mean, there's not a lot of, tell. I mean, but I definitely, the 15th in Madison and Marshfield, we just had bad luck. We had we were only running on 7 cylinders at Madison and Marshfield. We had a spare motor in, and we ran relatively good in practice and qualifying, and then just the race it just didn't go our way. But yeah, I mean, we're still kind of figuring out. It's just kind of hard because a lot of guys just don't want to tell a lot of stuff, but you figure it out as you go along, and
Yeah, it all makes a lot of sense and takes a lot of work. James, who's working with you on that truck this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, when we're at the shop, it's just me and my dad, and then my brother. So, and then we, when we go to a race, our crew chief Paul Block is there, and then I have my spotter Christopher Weir. So, we're a small team, but we're hoping to get we have a guy coming with us for Milwaukee helping out. So, we're growing, and we're a small team, but we get the job done. So.
And then you realize about 3 hours into your day how big this place really is, don't you? There's a lot of moving around, a lot of different places to get to. Like, man, it's like a half a mile just to get to pit road sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shocker when I first came here. I mean, a mile track, and iRacing, it wasn't that big. And then when you see it in person, it's just like, wow. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, I was pretty scared going out the first time, not going to lie, because I knew we were going to get up to speed. And then, 3 laps in, I just felt comfortable. And, this is my favorite track. I mean, once I seen on the schedule, it was a mile track, I knew it was my favorite track. I love it.
So what's it like walking out there knowing you're climbing in a truck like you did last year and you had a good enough truck to finish third? I mean, there's a lot that goes into that with what Huey just described as your team. What's that emotion? Is it the same every race or is it different because you look forward to running here so much?
I think it's pretty much the same every race. There's always, that nervousness coming down to the end. And, last year I didn't think I was going to be up there because the tires fell off. But then I think stuff happened up front. A couple guys got in the back of each other on a restart, and we just kind of stayed in our spot. And, I was kind of losing the draft a bit because I wasn't driving it right. And then, I got used to it again, and we finished third. So, I mean, it was our first podium of the year. So, I mean, that was a great start to the year. Definitely a confidence booster for me. And then, we ended up doing pretty well the rest of the season last year. So,
how about sponsors, James?
Yeah, so right now we just have our main sponsor on the car. He sponsors the whole car. U.S. Equipment Sales and Rentals. He's a vendor for like recycling equipment, and I'm always looking for more sponsors. So if anyone out there watching wants a spot on the car, you can message me on Facebook, James Lynch Racing, and I'm also on Instagram as well, James Lynch _racing 76. So if you ever want to sponsor up-and-coming drivers, just message me on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll get right back to you.
And when it comes to racing here, James, you got a bunch of racers you're racing against this weekend. I can't wait to see you guys on the racetrack. Practice is Saturday. Things get going on Sunday. And, John, there's a lot that goes involved in here. We got officials. We've got the timing and scoring folks working in unison with the other series. There's a lot that goes on operationally for this, too, doesn't it?
Well, the thing about it, I'm fortunate to have such a good team behind me, helping me. I mean, my gosh, when I first started this 12 years ago, I didn't think it was that big a deal. I have some excellent employees right now. Between my tech crew, my media crew, I'm going to give them all a shout out right now. I mean, Drew and Beth. Drew is my competition director. Beth and Drew together do a lot of media work for me, but they're always posting and organizing. I mean, Buck, which is Sean Buckingham, Jeff Waters, Phil, Barry. I mean, they're my tech crew, and I think they walk into the pits and everybody gets scared. And
James is nodding over here. He's part of that too. Yeah, they got it going on. They're going to find it.
They're good to you as long as you're good to them. I mean, they're honest, fair guys, and but that's a lot of the success of the truck series too. Is Phil does nothing but, or not, should say nothing, but his main goal is he keeps track of tire inventory, serial numbers, everything else. I mean, it's hard to beat into these teams and drivers' head. It's hard to make them save money. You wonder, like, gosh, I'm trying to save you money here. Why are you, bucking the system, as they say? But in the long run, they understand. So, tech is number one. Like I said, my media people, all my other people. We got part-time guys that come and help us. Even old Scotty Null, he'll jump into Spotterville for us once in a while if he's available.
Well, think it back to when we did our shows in Dave Schmalzer's kitchen. It was awesome. We couldn't go anywhere else. We got you on the old Zoom, the Skype call, and your buddy Todd Cleaver helped you set up the camera. You're in your shop doing your thing, and thanks if you had anything to do with getting Todd here. He's a busy guy now. They won that feature in the midgets. I'm guessing it's kind of hard to get on his schedule now, isn't it?
Well, I tell you what, Todd became a very good friend of mine when he moved back up from North Carolina, and I called him up. I go, hey, I really don't know how to do this deal. Can you come over to the shop and help me?
Yeah.
It didn't matter because he was over there almost every other night anyways. So we always had a good time and talked about stuff.
And you want to put him in a truck on occasion. Now he might be a little busy on the dirt side, huh?
Yeah, and I tell you what, I'm proud of them as good as they're doing on the midget stuff. I wish I would have been down to Sycamore to watch them, but unfortunately I wasn't. And But if it's at Angel Park, I only live 2 miles away, so fortunate enough, I try to go up there for everything. That's a lot of fun, but no, like I said, Todd helped me that night. We had a lot of other bystanders in the shop also. So, but
that we didn't see on our show.
I tried to keep them out of the screen. So it was all good, of course.
Hey, we know how big this weekend is. We know how big it is to get you guys here. Thank you coming up from Illinois. Well, let's give a big hand to James Lynch and for John Wood and his brother Jerry and Randy for coming, guys. Thanks for making the time on such an important week for you.
No, thank you, Jim, for inviting us. It's always a pleasure to be on the show with you. I want to just put out one more shout out to Todd Thielen for inviting us for the Slinger National.
We'll be there, front gate, July 12th.
You got her. When I announced that, though, I mean, the actual Slinger Nationals were going to be there.
Yeah.
And no, it was pretty cool. Todd and I had a really nice talk, and I'm behind him to help move on his way on the races too at Slinger. We've Jerry and I have been going there for about 100 years. So,
yeah, give or take a day.
Yeah, so I'm always happy to go there.
Great to see you here. How about I say for John Wood and James Lynch joining us here tonight on the Racing Roundup Show. Guys, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Thank you. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to talk to Todd Cleaver, who brought his midget with him. So if you have not seen the double nickel, it's here out front next to James Lynch's truck and Ryan Farrell's super late model. Come on down, bring the kids, bring the camera. We're giving away tickets to the Milwaukee Mile this coming Sunday's race. We've got 2 sets of tickets for that after the show, part of our giveaways we do every week here at Polly's Pub and Eatery or wherever we take this show live in front of an audience. So come on down and join the racing crowd. You still have time. Todd Cleaver's on the way, Dean Strom's on the way, and more about racing around the area. And we'll give you some updates on our schedule to come for the Racing Roundup Show when we come back here on this edition, the June 14th show of the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club Points Racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
This is America's longest running weekly motorsports program, held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed on the Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining us for the Racing Roundup Show. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500 and NASCAR at the track. You see him on MAV TV's live coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl and the ARCA Menard Series. The host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how are you? We're having a blast here at Racing Roundup headquarters, Polly's Pub and Eatery. We're back here next Tuesday night. Our information's on our website, schedule page, racingroundupshow.com. This portion of the show is brought to you by BMRE Electric Carts in Random Lake. Brad Miller is Wisconsin's only Icon dealer and has in-stock inventory and customizing options available right now on his Facebook page, BMRE Electric Carts Company. He actually did a nice long tutorial of the tour of the parking lot of available inventory recently on the Facebook too, so check that out. BMRE Electric Carts Company. Hey, memorial races have taken on a special meaning here in Wisconsin. Our Bill Holland was known as known racers and their families that continue to honor racers with races named after some of the best Wisconsin short track racers. Here's Bill's installment of this week's In the Groove.
Hi, I'm Bill Holland in the Groove at Dells Raceway Park, home of the annual Lyle Nabafelt Memorial. This race honoring the only driver to lose his life here at DRP, perishing in a qualifying crash in May of 1973. For those who knew Lyle Nabafelt, the story isn't how he died, but in how he lived.
Lyle was not only a fantastic driver, but a really good friend to all of those guys, and helped Dick Trickle get started in racing as well. So he was just a great all-around guy, and I wished everybody in the world could have met Lyle. Super guy.
Former late model driver Dave Cox wheels the car driven by his hero in opening ceremonies of the Lyle Nabafelt Memorial. Now married to the late driver's daughter, Cox shares his earliest racing memories.
1961 is when I first watched Lyle race, and to jump in that chicken coop after all this time with that man that used to drive it, I get chills every time I get in that car.
The Nabafelt Memorial is the first race of the season for the Central Wisconsin Racing Association late models. Years ago, Lyle Nabafelt was a CWRA pioneer. Today, his son Jay Nabafelt is a CWRA official.
Oh, it's been 49 years, believe it or not, since we lost our father, at this track. And boy, coming down here every year, and just everybody makes you feel like family, and just so welcome, and to keep the memory alive.
1992 CWRA champion Kirby Kurth, the lone driver in the field who knew Lyle Nabafelt personally.
I think the thing that sticks out in my head is the car lettered X. I don't know why that black and white 57 Chevy sticks out like it does. The chicken coop didn't seem to mean that much to me. I was pretty young then when that was running, but the black and white 57 Chevy, that was always a fast car at Griffith Park.
We'll go 55 laps in the feature, the last number Lyle Nabafelt carried on a race car. Malin Borntrager in the 25 and Kirby Kurth in the 85 bringing the field to the green flag, and we are underway. Good race up front with Borntrager out of Elroy, Wisconsin, trying to hold off Steve Litchfield in the red 32 car. Both front runners with a lot of laps here at the Dells, and Litchfield makes the pass to take over the lead. Now Litchfield out of Portage, Wisconsin, battling for the top spot with Minnesota driver Paul Payne in the 27 car. Jeff Weinfurter in the 3. Jesse Bernhagen in the black 32 and Derek Gress in the 107.5, all right there. Contact up front and Litchfield spins in the 32. This will bring out the caution. After 55 laps, Jesse Bernhagen will hold off Mark Eswine in second to take the 2022 Lyle Nabafelt Memorial late model feature.
It's fun to come through the field. This is how we've won every one of these. I've never gotten them easily. We've always had to come through the field and work for it. So it definitely adds something to it when you can do that.
At Golden Sand Speedway, racing on Memorial Day is a tradition. In recent years, the event dedicated to the memory of Dick Trickle. For 10-time track champion Mark Eswine, there's a family connection.
Being a second cousin with Dick, I mean, I got to I guess I never really talked about it much, but I got to hang around the race shop when I was a kid. My dad took me all over the country following Dick. Got advice from him, got to have late night chat.
Colin Reffner's grandfather, Tom Reffner, raced with Trickle when Golden Sands was first built. The connection goes down through the generations.
Yeah, I got to talk to Dick all the time. You know, that's when he was coming to up for the Deachins Memorial and coming to Oktoberfest still. And yeah, I had was very fortunate to be able to talk on the phone with him before I'd go to some of my races. And it's something that I cherished then, but certainly cherish even more now.
As a young driver, two-time Rockford Speedway National Short Track champion Jeremy Lepak raced with Dick Trickle and recalls the experience.
Definitely had the enjoyable experience about getting to race with them. So definitely some tense moments. It's like that name, it makes you nervous every time they're outside of you. Reminded me a lot of racing with Tom Reffner. When I first started racing, you always want to gain those guys' respect.
We'll go for 99 laps with $5,000 to the winner. Two-time defending Golden Sands champion Justin Mondyke in the 44 and Chad Butts in the 8 leading the field to green. It's a hot one with temperatures pushing 90 degrees. Drivers in the cars dealing with hot conditions and a hot, slick racetrack. It's Mondyke on the inside trying to hold off Gabe Summers in the 15 on the high side. Summers makes the pass for the lead. Gabe Summers out front with Mike Litchfield now second. Mondyke running third and 10-time Golden Sands champion Mark Eswine in fourth. 50 years ago, Rich Summers and Dick Trickle often raced wheel-to-wheel here at Golden Sands. Today, Gabe Summers carries on the tradition, winning the Dick Trickle Memorial 99.
This place can be a bear when it's hot out, but if you got a good car, it makes it a lot easier, and we had a really good car today. We worked on it, and just didn't give up and got it to exactly where I wanted it before the feature, and I knew I had a good piece going in, just had to keep the rear tires under it.
Gabe Summers' victory celebration might go on quite a while, and no surprise, he has a lot of fans here. The young racer grew up just down the road from Golden Sands Speedway. I'm Bill Holland. Thanks for watching, and thanks to everyone who makes our program possible. We'll see you next time we go in the groove on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thank you, Bill. I'm guessing every bit of footage was his, so it's kind of cool. Bill got to dig back and tell us more about those great memorial races that he cares so much about and so much part of the fabric of Wisconsin short track racing. It's time for the Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight. They're proud sponsors and supporters of Wisconsin racers Dennis Prunty, Bill Baylog, and Jason Gross. Try Anderson's Maple Syrup in your coffee or tea or on ice cream. Take it with you with Pure Fuel Maple Energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer. Anderson'sMapleSyrup.com. Anderson's, pure quality since 1928. And our spotlight shines brightly on that beautiful black and blue number 55 Badger Midget sitting in the parking lot. The driver sitting next to me. Let's welcome in Sun Prairie's Todd Cleaver. Todd, welcome to the show. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And I think the last time you were on here, you said, I got to win something before I get back on your show. And wouldn't you know it, you won last Saturday. How cool is that to win a Badger Midget feature in a car that you put together yourself, had a bunch of friends help you with, and you go out there and you put one on them?
It's been a lot of fun, actually. I've had probably more fun the last year and a half than I've had in quite a long time. It's been cool to do it with, right at close to home most of the time. A lot of my buddies helping out. Yeah, it's been neat. I've always wanted to do it. That's like I've always said. Angel Park is where I fell in love with racing. Midgets were the first thing I ever watched. They were what I fell in love with, and that's what I wanted to do really as a little kid. And it just happened that I never did. Life took me other directions, but. 42 years old, I decided, hey, I'm gonna, retire soon anyways. I might as well do it. And I don't know. I think it's cool. You know what I mean? I really didn't expect it to happen, right away. And, right away this year it happened. So that's, I don't know. It makes the rest of the year more enjoyable. It kind of takes the pressure off.
Give you a snapshot if you're not familiar with Todd Cleaver's career. Racing short tracks. Actually started on 2 wheels.
Yep.
Pro rider.
Yep.
Flat track, right?
Yep.
Then he gets a chance to go foil racing, wins a track championship at Madison International Speedway. Then gets the idea, hey, I want to go ASA racing.
Yep.
How long did you guys do that together?
3 years. My family had my own team, and my brother and I traveled the country, and my parents stayed home and took care of business while we were off playing, and we ran just well enough that it got me a shot with Jerry Gunderman.
Yep.
Who got me a shot with Roush, and thank God, because the ASA ship sank all of a sudden, and I had nowhere else to jump to, and Jerry was a life raft for me, and helped me get to where I eventually was trying to get to anyways. And man, he's a great guy. I was kind of hoping maybe I'd get to cross paths with him tonight, but hopefully here soon I'll get to see him again. But yeah, it's been a little bit of a weird career. I've won snowmobile races, I've won motorcycle races, I've won stock car races on asphalt, I've won truck races on asphalt, I've won sport mod races on the dirt, and now a midget. So I don't know. I trying to touch everything, I guess, one time before I call it a career.
So when I was doing ASA TV stuff, I got to say this because no one's going to believe me. I have it somewhere. It's ASA had this paper called Action Line, and it featured drivers and it had little bios and this kind of thing. And they asked me like 10 questions with Jim, because I was doing TV stuff with TNN. And one of the things they asked me was, what do you expect if something happens for the good for a driver who hasn't won in the ASA yet? And I said, if Todd Cleaver wins, that will be the party you cannot miss. Because you guys were ready. You guys were on the bit. You guys were running sleepless hours to get to the track. And I know you would have really celebrated had you gotten the chance to run those ASA deals. But that takes me now forward to last Saturday. What was that post-race victory party like?
It was pretty cool. I mean, my youngest niece was there. My brother was there. My dad was there.
Was Bella there, your dog?
Yeah, Bella was there too.
All right.
We've got pictures of that. And she doesn't go as much anymore. She's getting pretty old. So I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Again, like I said, it was a lot of fun, but for me, it was just a huge relief. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people look at me a lot of times, I think, when I have these crazy ideas that I'm going to go start doing something new, and they're just like, why? I mean, Joe Wood's one of my best friends. I know, Johnny's one of my great friends too. There's other avenues that would probably be a lot easier for me, I guess, with my experience and the people that I know. And I just want to do the things that I want to do, the things I've always wanted to do, you know what I mean? The only really other thing that I can think of that I'd like to do is drive a wing sprint car again, but I don't know that I have that traveling in me, anymore. But I don't know. I think it's really easy to make a fool of yourself when you do something like that, you know what I mean? And no matter what, I can say at least we won one, and I'm not a complete idiot,
Yeah, but you also got talked into going with your buddy Brandon Welty to run the Chili Bowl. You were pretty tepid about that, going, I don't know. How was that experience out of your comfort zone this past January?
I successfully made myself look like a complete idiot down there, that's for sure.
But you guys didn't lose the party, I know that.
No, we sure did not. Nope. It was good experience for me, just to help me. Midgets are pretty intense, you know what I mean? Like there's really no time to take a break. There's no relaxing at any time. You're kind of just always on the throttle.
And do you have adjuster knobs in there for shocks and stuff? So you're always thinking about that too?
Well, we just started putting them in my car because I had the ability, but I didn't have the knowledge, so I have them in there. So we're just getting to that point, but. Just being around it for a week and week straight and being able to think about it, even if it I didn't race that much one night, but Brandon raced, Brandon's other car raced, there was Bill Ecker's 2 cars were there, so just being around it and thinking about it and whatever, I think that's ultimately where we started to turn the corner, and what my comfort level was and stuff like that. It definitely helped, but it was very humbling at the time, because I'm not going to tell you that. I mean, I make no delusions about how we did, and it was terrible. So,
but after that, January to May, you had an engine you were waiting on, right? Other things kind of keeping you from the race car, working on focused on the family business.
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, as racers, we're all dealing with it. You know what I mean? Like things are hard to get, and you're always waiting on parts. And I came back from the Chili Bowl and took the motor out of my car and took it back to Rick Hipley, and just wanted to have it fresh for the season. And you can take that stuff there and Rick can send it out, but Rick's a one-man guy right now, so he's got to send the block out to AEC or Wagner or some of them guys to do the machine work on it, and they're all busy. They've got their own customers, so things just take a long time right now. And of course you try and plan to not be in the crunch, but you end up in the crunch. But yeah, I mean, business has been it's been great, which is a blessing, you know what I mean? But sometimes it's it's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got a lot going on. My brother and I work quite a bit. My dad still works. He's 76 years old.
Give us a rundown what the Cleaver family businesses are. There's
Well,
quite a few.
My father has a company called Badger Music and Equipment. We do vending machines, amusement machines. We do jukeboxes, pool tables, dart machines, poker machines, ATM machines, video games. We service, like probably 75 or 80 bars and restaurants with machines.
Around Madison or
Around
outside
Madison?
of Madison?
Usually we try and stay within an hour of the Madison area. And then my brother and I have the 3 bars, Nora's Tavern, Seminary Springs, and then the Fox Bar and Grill. And, thank God it's been getting a little better. It was really hard to get help. And the help that we did have, was awesome, pulling through and working doubles and just whatever we had to do to keep the things open. And but now it's it's getting better. But my brother and I we were ready for a break for a while. So
They said I'm going to add a midget to my schedule.
Well, at least race cars are a lot of work, but at least it's work I want to do. You know what I mean? It's I don't know,
Hobby time, plunk time.
Yeah.
Hang out with some buddies every now and then. At least now that you're racing, Brandon's back racing. Maybe you're
Yeah.
the reason why he came out of retirement for the umpteenth time.
I don't know. I think he came out of retirement just to prove that he's better than me still. But
I don't know
no,
about
it's
that.
fine. Brandon's awesome. He's Brandon and I were always good friends, but I think we've obviously become a lot closer, and he's taught me so much with my midget. And my buddy BJ's always there. BJ Dalkey's always in the shop with me and helping me work on the thing, and that's awesome. And Doug Shank's been helping a little bit this year too, and it's really cool to be around guys that have so much knowledge. You know what I mean? It really makes it where I just have to work on what do I need to do to figure out how to drive this thing, instead of worrying about are the wheels tight and do I even know what I'm doing with the setup and stuff like that. So
Todd Cleaver's win came at Sycamore Speedway. He is a hometown Sun Prairie Angel Park kid from way back. Even on your NASCAR weekends, I know you'd scurry up into the turn 1 stands. I'm like, yep, Todd's here tonight.
Yep, I love it there. It's my hometown, I mean, again, it's where I fell in love with racing. It's the very first racetrack my dad ever took me to. So I think everybody, wants to, I was 8, 10 years old, and I watched Paige Jones and Jeff Gordon and, all them guys. I watched them guys. I'd watch Thursday Night Thunder, and then I'd see them guys come to my hometown, to my racetrack. That was awesome, and I always wanted to do it, and I always wanted to try it. And like I said, I was racing motorcycles, had the opportunity to get into stock cars, and thank God it worked out that way, because obviously the stock car thing was good to me. But I don't know. I think I just always wanted to do it. So
You're doing it now. Who's doing it with you as far as sponsorship? You mentioned the crew guys.
Well, it's obviously my family, my brother and my dad and my mom, and obviously our 4 businesses that the family has. But John always helps me. John H. Wood Trucking, and I've got Club Lamarck and Fowler Heating and Air Conditioning, and I don't know. I mean, my buddy Brad Miller helps me out some, and Chad Weirs always helps me out some. It was funny. I was at the Chili Bowl, and I asked Chad. I said I need a new hoodie, and he's like, "I got one for you. I'll give you a deal on it. Seems how you're the only midget in the country with a Weirs Machine sticker on it." But I've had Weirs Machine stickers on my car since about 2000 or 2001. So might as well leave them on there.
Got a
now.
discount coming, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously Joe and the guys at Pathfinder, even though it's a midget, they still sell race car parts, and they're still really good to me. And LB at Bailings was really good to me when we were building it too. My buddy Brandon, VRS Radiator, my buddy Blake with Lake Wisconsin Campground. Pretty much everything that we do is just with buddies of mine, you know what I mean? And it's been really cool to do it that way. My buddies help out. They come to the races. They drink beer. We have a good time. It's been neat.
You chased down to Sycamore, which has become the second home for the Badger Midgets. You won there. This weekend they're racing at Gravity Park on Friday. Badger Midgets in action Saturday at a Tomahawk Speedway. Is that part of your schedule?
Well, it's up for debate right now.
All right.
But it's looking like I'm going to probably go this Friday and this Saturday. I have 2 VIP tables for the World of Outlaws both nights at Beaver Dam.
Uh-huh.
And that's hard to get me to. I love them. I think that the World of Outlaws wing sprint cars are the coolest race cars on the face of the earth. I don't know, but I think the more I can be in my car right now and the more different tracks we can go to, it's obviously helped. It's obviously improved my driving. So I kind of want to keep going. Even though we have won one, I still have that one check mark, you know what I mean? I want to win at Angel Park in front of my fans and my family and all my people. So I'm going to keep going and keep doing what I got to do to learn, because that 3-car it's not easy to keep in sight, and I hear that there's some more coming. You know, I hear that Davey Ray's going to be some, and maybe Zach Dom and some of them other guys, and they're really fast, and them guys have raced a lot, and they've got a lot of laps there. So I'm going to have to really step up my game if I'm going to go compete with them.
Well, we're here to give you that mojo, that luck, with that little oil rub on the Buddha's belly. That's what we do here on the show. The Racing Roundup luck comes with you. We'll take all the credit when you win your next one. Hope it's at the Prairie, and if it's not, that means you got one more to wait for to get there. It's been a lot of fun having you and catching up with you.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I got my Kevin Olson shirt on. The next race at Angel Park,
yes,
I think is going to be the KO Classic. So,
Sunday night, June 26th.
Yep.
With the USAC Sprint cars.
Yep, with the USAC Sprint cars. I didn't really know KO, I was telling you, but I got to meet him and hang out with him some at the Chili Bowl, and what a unique guy he was. And sad that I had just got to know him before he left us. But, Greg's done a great deal with Angel Park Speedway. It's been awesome this year. Quinn and Amy, they work really hard with the Badger Midgets. It's been surprising to me how friendly and helpful and just how neat everybody's been. So I'm having a ball. Thanks for having me. And you're going to get me out of here in time to go shoot trap tonight. So.
You got to shoot trap here in a little bit, and it's not here. It's probably near Seminary Springs or Nora's or the Fox Barn Grill, isn't it?
Deerfield Rod and Gun Club, so we got a little bit of drive, but we'll make it. It'll be good.
Well, let's wish him well on his packing up and leaving. We're going to help you pack up that beautiful midget. Let's give a hand to Todd Cleaver joining us here tonight. Thank you, Todd. He's wearing the KO 50th anniversary shirt. The KO Classic is Sunday, June 26th. And next week, we're going to have the last race car Kevin Olson drove. His Badger Midget that Donnie Clevin owns and now sold to Brian Walters will be here at our show next Tuesday here at Polly's. Brian Walters will be here. I hope Denny's going to come as well. But again, Brian Walters is keeping that car as close to KO's car that he finished top 10 in points last year with the Badger Midget before he passed away in January due to a road accident. So that's a cool shirt. We got more stuff to tell you about. We got Dean Strom waiting anxiously in the wings. I think he's on his 4th chicken tinga taco. I'm not quite sure, but it's Mexican night. Great food here at Polly's. You'll never be disappointed. Open 7 days a week. We're coming right back with more on the short track scene and what's happening around Wisconsin and what's Dean's schedule like these days on the Racing Roundup Show. Stick around.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln in West Dallas.
D&H Sales and Service is Sheboygan County's largest steel and outdoor power equipment dealer. Since 2003, owner Brad Dahmer and D&H Sales and Service strives to offer you the best brands with leading manufacturers such as Aaron's, Gravely, Ferris, Simplicity, Snapper, Steel, Wright, and Toro. Each brand is backed by a stocked parts department and the highest level of customer service. All of our inventory is online at SheboyganPowerCenter.com, and when you buy from D&H, you will be shown how to safely operate your ready-to-use equipment. We have over 80 feet of steel display, and we have over 75 pieces of steel equipment in stock. D&H is Sheboygan County's only Briggs & Stratton diamond dealer with a master service technician and factory-trained service department. D&H Sales and Service is conveniently located off of I-43 in Sheboygan and is an authorized service and warranty center for most brands on the market. We'll service almost any brand of small engine equipment. Call us for details at 920-458-1865. D&H Sales and Service also offers pickup and delivery to Sheboygan, Manitowoc, and Ozaukee counties. Search D&H Sales and Service on Facebook or log on to SheboyganPowerCenter.com today.
And we're back on the Racing Roundup Show, this Tuesday night edition. You can see it anytime you'd like on our Facebook feed. We also have it on our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, on the MAV TV Plus app as well. If you subscribe to that, it's a lot of fun, a lot of great racing going on there, 24/7, MAV TV Plus, the app. We're also on Spotify and YouTube. We also want to tell you, we heard from our friends at the Greenfield Gallery during that last commercial break, Ralph Hibbert and the gang. They're hosting another car show, the Greenfield Gallery Car Show. We're going to be there Tuesday night, July 19th. Tuesday night, July 19th. Spread the word. Every race car is welcome. We'll be at the Heaven City Restaurant property, 278th and National. That information's on our website, RacingRoundupShow.com. This portion of the show is brought to you by the Midwest Truck Series. They're racing this Sunday, June 19th at the Father's Day at the Milwaukee Mile. The 2SAV Tools 20. Advanced tickets are available right now online at TrackEnterprises.com. The Midwest Truck Series is supported by White Deer Automotive and the Milwaukee Mile. Check out MidwestTruckSeries.com. Recent show guest and sprint car racer Derek Crane is hosting a diaper drive online and at Wilmot Raceway on Saturday, June 25th, as he'll be racing with USAC National Sprint Car Series that night. It's for One Hope, a nonprofit group providing diapers to foster parents in the area. Bring diapers to Wilmot Raceway the night of June 25th, or right now, go to Derek's Facebook page to click on the link, and you can donate diapers, and they will ship directly to Derek's address. Search Derek D.C. Crane on Facebook. Dean Strom is hanging out with us. I think, are you in between meals here? Did you go Tinka Tacos, then the nachos, and then the...
D.A., not D.C., D.A.
D.A.? D.A.? Oh, your middle initial's A. But Derek Crane's initials are D.C.
I
Get
know,
it?
I know. Yeah.
What you got there, pal?
I got the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. Bonafide Security Solutions brings you the Short Track Report for camera and alarm systems for your home or business, program card access, gun safes. It's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide protects what you value. Sunday night, Slinger Super Speedway. You know, Steve Apel, he has won a lot there over the years.
Hasn't raced there yet this year.
You know, he raced...
or was it 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
All right,
2 weeks ago when the Supers were there, yeah. Five-time series champ, or five-time champion, the Elite 8 Super Late Model 75. He won Saturday night, so that's really not noteworthy that a five-time series champ would win, but it's under the circumstances that he won. During the offseason, of course, Steve's 6-year-old son, Cameron, needed a bone marrow transplant, and his 4-year-old brother, Harrison, was the perfect match.
Donated his bows and arrows.
Yep. Cameron received life-saving bone marrow transplant in April, and both he and Harrison were at the Speedway Sunday night, and they were able to take part in the celebration. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Steve took the lead early, held off Alex Prunty on a restart with 21 to go to score the emotional win. Ryan Gutnick crossed the finish line in the Pro Late Model second behind Braden Berge.
Okay.
However, Berge's machine failed post-race inspection.
Hey,
Ryan
so
Gutnick awarded the win.
He was on our show last week.
He was on the show last week.
We'll take the win.
You know
we'll
who
take
else
the credit.
was on the show last week? Dale Leakus Jr.
Yeah, he was.
He won the Sportsman feature.
Hey, outstanding. Awesome.
Yeah, he won the Sportsman feature on Sunday night at the Slinger Super Speedway. So it was a good night. That Racing Roundup show, good luck.
Yep.
It's holding true.
Kaharma or Mojo, I like to call it.
Wilmot Raceway was one of the few Saturday night tracks in Wisconsin to get their racing program in. CKContractorsLLC.com brings us the happenings at Wilmot Raceway. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, excavation, retention pond building, and more. 43 Wisconsin wingless sprint drivers signed in Saturday night at Wilmot. Ageless veteran Tim Cox set a new one-lap qualifying record. Was closing in on Jimmy Sivia for the feature win. Late, came up just a bit short. CK Contractor sponsored Chris Klemko flipped in his heat, won the B main, and raced back up to 10th in the feature. Josh Gehring also lowered the street stock track record on a lightning fast dirt oval at the Kenosha County Fairgrounds. Jim, this might be one to go to Friday night. Oh, you're busy, aren't you?
This Friday?
$10 to get in either the pits or the grandstands at Wilmot.
I heard there's going to be an antique tractor parade.
Tractor and truck pull. And then they're going to have a demo derby with combines. Yes, combines.
Let's eat. Let's go.
Saturday night at Wilmot, full 5 divisions of racing. Grandstands open at 5 p.m. And after 14 years, the USAC Sprint Cars return to Wilmot Raceway Saturday, June 25th. Our Racing Roundup show will be live at Wilmot at the front gate Tuesday night, June 28th. Special time, 5 p.m. Tickets details, WilmotRaceway.com.
So that show is in 2 weeks' time. It's at on Tuesday night, June 28th. They're running an entire weekly program for their July 4th weekend. It's racing on Tuesday. We're going to be at the front gate with a special start time at 5 p.m. Join the racing crowd. We got great cars lined up for out front to display as well.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
Bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints were in action over the weekend. Jordan Goldsberry pulled into victory lane Sunday night at Angel Park Speedway. And Joe B. Miller beat Scotty Field to the finish line Saturday night at Fairbury. A sprint car Saturday night at Falls.
Yep. Getting after it.
I just love that place.
I know you do.
I think it's awesome.
I know you do.
Jake Newman raced from 23rd to 1st. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
Started 23rd, finished 1st in the AFS Badger Midget feature Sunday night at Angel Park in Sun Prairie. 6th starting Kyle Stark finished 2nd. We heard from Todd Cleaver. He finished 5th. Badger Midgets race this Friday night at Gravity Park, Saturday at Tomahawk Speedway. Minnesotan Jacob Gady won the first NASCAR late model feature Friday night at Madison International Speedway. Then he got turned into the front stretch wall in the second feature. That feature was won by Zach Riddle. Nick Schmidt won both features in the Bandits. Double features for every division this Friday night at Madison. And the USAC Silver Crown Series races at Madison International Speedway on Friday night, June 24th, along with the late models in the Midwest Dash Series. Salute to America night. More details there, misracing.com. That's always one of their biggest nights at Madison. It's a really, really good show. World of Dirt late model racing. We got a new millionaire. Jonathan Davenport took the win in the $1 million dirt late model race Thursday night at Eldora. Had to survive 2 late race restarts challenges from Tim McCready and second place finisher Chris Madden. Then they ran $128,000. Well, they started.
Is that all?
So they had the 2 richest dirt late model races of the season at the same track on the same weekend. Mm-hmm. They didn't get the Dream finished. Rains came in. They were fighting rain all weekend long. So the Dream will be finished the Wednesday night of the World 100 weekend in September. O'Reilly Auto Parts sponsors a full night of weekly racing. Saturday night, Dells Raceway Park, featuring UMA Pro late models, modified sportsmen's, bandits, legends, and bandos. Time trials at 4:30, racing at 6. You go to DellsRacewayPark.com for ticket info. Midwest Truck Series in action across the street Sunday. The Bellegarde paves the way.
I got that wrong. 20. I wrote that for you. I'm sorry. It's not the Bellegarde paves the way. It's the 2-Sev Tools 20. My bad.
All right.
Shout out to 2-Sev Tools. Thank you, John Wood, for correcting me on that.
All right. It's still Father's Day.
It is.
It's still at the Milwaukee Mile.
It's a great race. It was a
it's going to be an
finish
awesome
last
race.
year.
Advanced tickets available right now online at trackenterprises.com. Jim, you'll be on the call Sunday along with Tim Sauter, Matt Vadi at MidwestTour.tv. Matt's going to be in the pits.
So if you can't be there, you'll see all the races all
We'd
day.
love you to be there.
Yeah, right.
We want you to
support
go support
the
the track.
Yep.
But if you can't, we understand. Go to MidwestTour.tv, click on subscribe, and like you said, you will see all the action.
Mm-hmm.
Summer Nationals, a.k.a. the Hell Tour, begins tonight. Kankakee County Speedway for the dirt late models. 32 nights of racing over 40 days. You can see why they call it the Hell Tour.
Wow. It used to be like 16 races in 18 days, and it became 26 races in 30 days. And now how many is it?
32 nights of racing in 40 days.
Wow.
Yes. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the Deary family. The matriarch of the Rockford Speedway, former short track promoter of the year, Mrs. Jody Deary. She passed away yesterday at the age of 97. Rockford Speedway has a special place in my heart. It's just a little bull ring. It's a cool little bull ring. I announced there. I was kind of like their fill-in announcer for a couple of years. I'm good friends with Jack Deary. I'm good friends with the family. It's a cool little place. And Mrs. Deary, she, up until a couple years ago, she went to work every day. And on Saturday night, she was in the ticket booth selling tickets. So, I mean, she is a short track legend when it comes to promoting here in the Upper Midwest. And, you know, we talk about drivers that have graduated from certain tracks. Rockford Speedway had a pipeline for officials. John Darby, who was the NASCAR Cup Series director, graduate of Rockford Speedway. Tim Berman, who...
he's one of two NASCAR race directors today for the Cup Series.
Graduate of Rockford Speedway.
Yep.
Our good friend TP, Tom Powell, flagman extraordinaire, was a graduate of Rockford Speedway. Greg McCarnes, graduate of the Rockford Speedway. Mm-hmm. And Greg and Mrs. Deary started the Big 8 Late Model Series. So her legacy will just carry on for years and years and years. And she was very humble about it, but she was on the NASCAR Hall of Fame voting committee.
Wow.
She helped decide who was getting in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So she will certainly be missed.
Yeah, 97 years young. You mentioned she worked there till a couple years ago, and I know Rockford Speedway is celebrating their 75th season. Thanks in large part, a lot of short track racers got to race some really cool races, and some guys like Richard Petty would show up and sign autographs. And then
Bobby Allison.
NASCAR drivers doing a match race with David Pearson in there and all that kind of cool stuff. That was really set the tone for many, many years, decades of excitement here in the Upper Midwest. We're going to be back. We'll tell you a little bit more about what happened in Road America over the weekend who's going to be on the next couple of shows. We gave you a little insight as to what's going on across the street at the Milwaukee Mile. We'll tell you final notes about that as well when we come back on the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lake's Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250, presented by Jockey Made in America, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Polly's Pub and Eatery at 81st Street and Greenfield Avenue serves up Milwaukee's best pizza, outstanding wings, and a great pub menu. Polly's Kitchen is open late every night with great nightly specials. Polly's has a shuttle bus to all Brewers games. Party on the patio this summer with Polly. Polly's has 18 flat-screen TVs to catch all of your favorite sports. Stay up to speed and download Polly's mobile app and receive a free 22-ounce tap beer. Polly'sPubandEatery.com. Have you partied with Polly?
427-1000 America. American Foundation.
When your foundation is in need of repair, you need three things: an honest opinion, quality work, and fair prices. Call American.
Trust and dedication. That's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000. American Foundation.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show on this June 14th edition. We want to thank our guests for being here. It's been an awesome night. Thank you, Todd Cleaver. Thank you, James Lynch. And thank you to for the number 80 car, Ryan Farrell. They're all here tonight hanging out. They got big races coming up this weekend. We also know that this past weekend, a huge race weekend at Road America. Congrats to the Road America staff for putting on a stellar presentation of the Sancio Grand Prix presented by AMR Weekend. Joseph Newgarden powered away by 3 seconds at the victory 1 year after leading with 2 to go, and a mechanical failure robbed him of the victory. Redemption Drive also came with $1 million payday as the bonus went to the Nashville native as the first driver this season to win on street, oval, and road courses in IndyCar. Indy 500 champion Marcus Ericsson finished second, with 2019 Road America winner Alexander Rossi, another American, finishing third. Jimmy Johnson from California, well, he returned to Wisconsin, where he started racing on four wheels at Crandon's off-road track and lived here for 2 years while racing the ASA National Tour. He finished 24th, the first car lap down. Last week's show guest with us at the Cellar, Yuvan Sundaramurthy, finished 10th and 8th in Pabst Racing's Indy Pro 2000 ride. At his home track, Ohio native Brandon Eves and English driver Lewis Foster scored the race wins. From what I saw on my friend Jacques Driesing's Facebook feed, they had a lot of great cars there. Great interest in the Vintage Indy Registry paddock at Road America. I can't wait for Jacques and his passion for all things Dan Gurney and All-American Racers to be represented in what would be the largest collection of Dan Gurney anything and everything. All-American Racers Weekend. It's part of the WeatherTech International Challenge Weekend with Brian Redmond, July 15 through 17 at Road America. I strongly suggest you get there. And Road America welcomes this weekend the best amateur road racers on the continent for the WeatherTech Chicago Region SCCA June Sprints. It's been 67 years in running. It's one of the three crown jewels of amateur racing in a given year. If you're in the June Sprints and the runoffs, you are doing something, and your region. The June Sprints features all types of sports cars from showroom stock to formula cars in dozens of categories. I want to wish best of luck to Brad and Julie Dahmer of D&H Sales and Service and all the racers competing there this weekend. Visit roadamerica.com for more information. As I alluded to, we've got a couple of things to tell you about on our schedule. We're live next Tuesday night, June 21st, right here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. We have a live video link with USAC standout Justin Grant, Dell's late model racer Morgan Schissel, third generation racer Easton Riedner, that's Chico's grandson. We also have Jeremy Schultz here, and Kevin Olson's midget will be on display with now the owner, Brian Walters, in the house with us as well. Our DeAndre's Construction Roadshow schedule, that's filling up pretty quick too. In 2 weeks' time, we're live at the front gate at Wilmot Raceway on Tuesday night, June 28th at 5 p.m. for a special show. That's when gates open. We'll have 4 cars on display at the track, much less talking to racers at the racetrack that are racing that night. Josh Blicky will be there with his NASCAR Cup car. Jamie Zeider will be there with his dirt late model. Chris Spitz is bringing his wing sprint car for display, and Bobby G is bringing out his Mid-Am stock car to display at the racetrack at Wilmot when we're doing the show at 5. That's going to be a ton of fun, thanks to CK Contractors. We also want to tell you that on Friday of NASCAR Weekend at Road America. If you don't have your tickets for NASCAR Weekend at Road America, get them now. There's a lot of stuff sold out already. Get there now. Buy your Sunday parking pass at roadamerica.com. We're there live Friday evening, July 1st at 6:30 p.m. The track's hot till 6. They're qualifying to Xfinity till 6 o'clock. We're doing our show in Victory Lane. The road show is going to be sponsored by Lamer's Driving Experience for Charity and D&H Sales and Service in Sheboygan. Join us for that program. And then Tuesday, July 5th, we're back here at Polly's. And all that's on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We have had a blast here tonight on the program. Thanks to all of our guests. We want to thank them again for bringing their cars out. Got some media exposure as well. Lance Allen, today's TMJ4, will be talking about the Milwaukee Mile Race and what interviews he did tonight with Ryan and James Lynch. That'll be on tomorrow evening's broadcast here in the local NBC affiliate. We're going to join the racing crowd next Tuesday night, but between now and then, there's a lot going on. So thanks for you and your participation. We also want to thank our great staff. Thank you, Dave Schmalzer. Thank you, Matt Rapina, Greg Lapine, Sam Trado, Dean Strom, Sherry Prock, Bruce Blodgett, Mark Goodman. You guys all make this show possible. Thank you, guys and gals. We're delivering another Racing Roundup show next Tuesday night right here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. We're heading across the street. Grandstand gates open at 9 a.m. Sunday morning. Support the mile. We're going to be there at 9. On track at 9:30. Qualifying 11. Racing at 1. Support the mile. The Father's Day 100 presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza is across the street. Support your local racing. Set your DVRs and have at it, racers. We'll see you here next Tuesday night. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for joining us for the Racing Roundup Show. Like our show on Facebook, Contact us via our website, racingroundupshow.com, and interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, support your local racetrack, set your DVR, and have at it, racers.